Political activist Charlie Kirk shot and killed in Utah at a university event. Tonight, local officials speak out.
A few showers are possible across the region tonight and tomorrow, but temperatures will remain above average for September in the upper 70s and lower 80s.
Spokane groups pushing back against immigration enforcement agents. Their list of demands and if ICE will listen.
It's a beautiful Wednesday night, and we're back at the Spokane County Interstate Fair, bringing you the latest and greatest.
Conservative activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated in Utah today. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan. The FBI says a person of interest is in custody in the shocking death of a political star. Charlie Kirk, the conservative activist, was shot and killed at an event at a Utah college. Torian Small is following this story from the White House tonight.
It happened in broad daylight at an event at Utah Valley University. As conservative activist Charlie Kirk addressed the crowd, a single fatal shot was fired into his neck.
I heard a loud shot, loud bang, and then I saw his body actually in slow motion kind of fall over.
This video shows security rushing 31-year-old Kirk to the hospital. The panicked crowd ran for cover.
This is a dark day for our state. It's a tragic day for our nation. And I want to be very clear that this is a political assassination.
President Trump confirmed the death on Truth Social and ordered the White House flags lowered to half staff. Kirk was not only a fierce ally of the president, he was a trusted advisor and personal friend of President Trump. He was invited to the White House several times where the president would credit him with helping him win young voters. As a co-founder of Turning Point USA, Kirk advocated for conservative politics on university campuses. He was a father of two as well as a rising political star, well known to CBS News chief Washington analyst Robert Costa.
This is a seismic political moment. It's hard to quantify and characterize the amount of anger, frustration, pain that is being felt in so many corners of American politics.
Please rise for a moment of prayer for Charlie Kirk and his family.
On Capitol Hill, the House held a moment of silence from both sides of the political spectrum. Lawmakers condemned the shooting, calling for an end to political violence. Torian Small, CBS News, Washington.
As news of Charlie Kirk's death has spread across the country, this afternoon, local leaders across the Northwest are reacting. KREM 2's Regan Gallo joining us tonight. Regan, tell us so far what state leaders are saying about the political violence.
Well, Mark, Kirk was widely known as a Republican figure who wanted to engage students in open debate. In April, Kirk was at Washington State University doing a very similar public debate as today's at Utah Valley University. Now, our newsroom is getting reactions from leaders across the Northwest, but we start with the Spokane County Republican Party Chair Rob Linebarger, who I spoke with on the phone, and he says he is deeply saddened by this news.
And the reason they took him out was because he was effective and he gave them hope and faith in the future of this country. This stuff has to stop. We have to be able to have conversations in this country and talk about things without either, retribution, retaliation, or violence.
And in the last half hour, Washington Senator Patty Murray sent out a second message on X regarding Charlie Kirk. She stated just months ago, the Speaker of the Minnesota House was killed. Now Charlie Kirk, this must end. This political violence is a uniquely dangerous thing. We make ourselves heard with our voice and our votes. And Washington State Representative Dan Newhouse states, I was deeply saddened to hear Charlie Kirk has died from the despicable act of violence. We must also recognize the unacceptable pattern of political violence we have witnessed in recent years. Congressman Michael Baumgartner called the shooting, quote, terrible. He added, quote, political violence must be rejected and its perpetrators brought to swift justice. Representing Idaho, Senator Mike Crapo also commented, stating Charlie was a leader in the conservative political movement with many promising years to come. His assassination is a vile and reprehensible act of political violence. Crapo continued to acknowledge Kirk's goal to have open conversations with people across the political spectrum. Now, this is still a developing story, and we will continue to give updates tonight as they come into our newsroom. Reporting in studio, Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News.
Regan, thank you very much. In other news tonight, a collective of 60 community organizations and churches are demanding local and state leaders protect immigrants and advocates. They even have some ideas on how that can be done. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy explains tonight. Shannon?
The Community Collective put out a list of 7 demands for state and local governments and law enforcement. It all comes just after a June 11th protest over the detainment of 2 men, which led to several more arrests. 9 people still face federal charges after protesting the immigration detention of 2 men in June. Now a collective voice is calling for those charges to be dropped among a list of other demands.
I saw a young woman in pain shoved to the ground by an officer in riot gear for adjusting her cuffs.
Amy Manning was one of those protesting.
Many of us were held in cuffs for more than 4 hours. Some of us were held in sweltering vans and not allowed to use restrooms.
She and others now demand local law enforcement protect the right to peacefully protest with transparency and de-escalation.
A committed response that's transparent, collaborative, and clear for protesters, because that day was also, it wasn't really clear who was in charge, and we were given a lot of conflicting direction.
The group says they want immigrants protected from the Trump administration, asking for local and state government to do more.
To support legislation requiring ICE agents to identify themselves and provide judicial warrants.
People are being disappeared, not just here in Spokane, but across our state and across our nation. We would like to see due process for everyone. It's in the Constitution.
Spokane City Council member Paul Dillon says it may take creativity and policy to make it happen.
And to look at what are the policy levers that we can pull that are constitutional. That will stand.
He points to the original Safe and Welcome in Spokane ordinance from 2018, which bars immigration agents from warrantless access to non-public city property.
Of what country are you a citizen?
Arrests and checks of buses led to public outcry and the original version of the city law.
So there's precedence, I think, for the city, for the state, taking on the Trump administration. And winning.
Council recently updated the law to provide protection at private events on city property. Border Patrol did respond, saying its agents follow federal law which supersedes that of the state or city, and that warrants are not required for arrests of those unlawfully in the country. Now, KREM 2 News reached out to the city, county, and local law enforcement for their response on these demands. Aaron Hutt with Mayor Lisa Brown's office says they have met with some members of this group. They're looking into creating a community fund for emergency aid for immigrant populations. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
And thank you very much. All right, let's talk weather now on this Wednesday with meteorologist Michelle Bosch. She's joining us live in the Outdoor Weather Center. Michelle, another beautiful day. Are we ever going to see some rain this week?
You know, we do have a small chance for showers tomorrow. Looks like a few chances next week, but all the rain events we've seen over the last several weeks have been pretty sparse and pretty stingy with the moisture, at least in the Spokane area. Checking on air quality first, we are looking at moderate air quality right now in the Spokane area, an AQI of 74. Anything between 50 and 100 is considered moderate. It's been a little bit hazy out there today. Doesn't smell too smoky out here, though, so that's good news. But with the lack of cloud cover, it's been pretty warm for September. 83 in Spokane right now, 86 in Coeur d'Alene. Omak was 90 degrees last hour. Still pretty toasty out there at 89. Also 89 in Moses Lake, 85 in Lewiston. Still seeing some air quality alerts in the close vicinity of some of those still actively burning wildfires. Other than that, we do have some thunderstorm activity across the higher terrain in northeastern Washington. Some in the Silver Valley, which looks like it's going to be drifting over towards Coeur d'Alene. Other than that, looking at pretty quiet conditions tonight. A slight chance of showers tonight and tomorrow, but then it looks like we'll be drying out as we head into Friday and Saturday, and still warm, highs in the lower 80s.
All right, all in all, pretty good right there, Michelle. Thank you very much. And for more weather coverage from our meteorologists, check out our KREM 2 Plus app. Just download it on your TV and watch for free. All right, coming up next on KREM 2 News at 5, President Trump meets with Poland's president after Russian drones crossed into the European country. Those details after the break.
We're live all night at Spokane County Interstate Fair, bringing you the latest and greatest on this beautiful Wednesday.